This is June 2023 bouldering. This month, I just did a bunch of bouldering. I don't think I did anything special from what I remember. Apparently I only have 4 days where I've gone bouldering, and we're going to start on the 4th. And it was one of the last days where I would go to Blockhouse with my brothers. I have no clips of my climbing, but I do remember that I topped that problem that I mentioned last month on the 14th. The coordination-ish climb. I had a look at it with a few people, and I was still having the same problem that I had in the previous month, and that being the volume was too slippery and I would fall off a lot. I remember I did a final attempt with some of the liquid chalk that the gym provides, and somehow that got me to the top. It felt really good. Then after that, I never touched it again. I was just done with it. And also, upon entering, I saw one of the people who work at Boulder Project working there at Blockhouse, so that was pretty cool. And that's everything I wrote down and remembered for the 4th. And then 2 days later, on the 6th, I would go bouldering again, and I went there alone, as my friend had to do some homework. I would just do increasingly harder problems until the green grade, which is not really that high when you're going harder and harder. And I could still do a decent amount of that. I think I was around the cave area for most of that session because I mentioned 2 locos in that area that required some hooking and stuff, hooking with your feet. There was this yellow one that I really enjoyed, which was just a lot of toe hooking and stuff. It was pretty cool. And there was also this blue one where you had to do like pull-ups or campusing to the next hold, plural. I don't know if I did that blue one on this day, but I remember struggling on it. And I also met a guy and a kid who I wouldn't see for weeks. Kinda sad. But they were cool. On the 15th, there was no school because it was a curriculum day. And in my journal, I said that I was quite beat after an hour, and the gym on that day was actually quite dead. I did record some videos, and I'm going to put them on the screen in editing. Whatever. I called this one a turtle shell problem. There's not a lot with this one, and I did this at my first session ever at Boulder Project, and I actually had to ask for help because I couldn't actually start the thing, and I forgot that I needed to have my hips close to the wall, which was quite very silly of me. Getting my left foot up on that turtle shell hold was a bit hard, since I have to bring my knee up to my chest, very close to me, and I don't consider myself as a very flexible person physically. And also smearing was a hard thing for me to do, and I'm actually just pretty sure it's hard to do on their wall because it seems a lot more smoother than the ones you'd see in bigger, fancier gyms. Whatever. This next one, I would probably describe this problem as a very static and lock-off type of climb. This problem was a lot harder than all of the other purples I've ever done. Even like today, I'd probably say is the hardest purple I've tried, and it should probably be graded as green or even pink. It's really hard, and the clip that's playing right now is my best attempt at it. And that's it for this day. On the 24th, I apparently got tired again. I don't know what happened on the other days, but I swear I would have gone on a day between this one and the 15th. There's 9 days between this one and the previous one. And there are about 11 clips I recorded that day, but only looking at 2 problems, so there won't be an awful lot to talk about on this day. This problem in the cave section was actually quite dreadful. I started doing this on the 6th, and the second half of this problem is obviously the hardest bit, as you'll see in the clip. But the big hold in that middle was kind of scary to match, and the feet at that point were pretty shit as well. But also that big hold is like a dual texture, like when my fingers are, is like the only rough bit and everything else is just smooth. I tried heel hooking my right foot onto that better jug below the bigger one, but it didn't work too well, and I eventually ditched that in the future. I didn't have a chance to get to that next pocket in this day. In some of the clips I recorded of this problem, I struggled with keeping myself to the roof, as the feet in that section were a bit fiddly, but I'll do way better in the future and just work on the second half. Now this next clip is of a loco, so the colors here don't matter. I mentioned that I did this on the 6th of this month, and as you will see, I did it. Not in this one, but the next one. And looking back now, that's actually quite surprising that I did that on the 6th. But this one is just, as I said before, a few pull-ups and 2 good holds, and then in the final bit, it's a bit weird, but I only touch the final hold and I fall off. This one is the same problem, but I topped it in this attempt. I think I could have done a bit better with my hips. Could have tried bringing myself close to the wall here by twisting my legs instead of throwing myself up to the top hold. But it works, so it doesn't matter too much. When I get to the top, I think I am relieved that I finally did it, but it looked like I was trying to kiss or make out with the hold, which is, I don't know, it's just the way I sway when I get to it looks weird. And that's the end of the day and this month. Goodbye.